As a spellcaster where you're already taking a damage, like, so spellcasters are build dependent on the damage that they do, right? So if you are not like min-maxing and know how to build a caster, your damage may suffer anyway. And then there's also, because this is D&D, you have a damage roll. Like, you're not always doing max damage. It's not like every time you throw a fireball, it does 100 points of damage. And, like, in some games, that's the case. But in Dungeons and Dragons, your fireball gets 1d6 plus however many levels you are, and then they add some bonus damage to that, and then you add based on whatever your build is. Like, if you're a fire sork, you're going to do more damage. It's going to be stronger. Also based on what your spell power is, these numbers here, your crit percent, your spell power, your crit multiplier, etc., right? So there's a lot of ifs based on that anyway. And then if you add to that another level of ifs, it just makes casting very sort of wonky. So that's what I'm saying. It's not like this isn't cool or fun. It is, but I cannot at right now, at the way it's implemented, if it doesn't change, see any raider, unless there's something I'm not understanding about the way this class functions, wanting to have one of these wild magic sorcerers in a raid, because there's just so much weird stuff that can happen that in a raid you have to have everything very, and especially if you're doing high skull reaper raids, you need to have like roles assigned, people doing very specific things very reliably. And if the dude is like, yeah, I know you left me to do that, but I got an iron pot in my head and then couldn't see and I ran off the platform by accident, or I couldn't see what was on the ground because the screen went green because I got dragon pox in the middle of the fight. It's like, bro, what, like, what, we're gonna leave you in the inn, we'll go do the raid, and then we'll come back, and maybe we'll take you with us when we're, going to do the quest where we don't really need anything to be on point. Like, this is where I am right now with how I think this is. And other games are much different in the way that they have rating set up. The roles are even more defined. Like, DDO is a little bit easier for you to be like a multi-role to join a raid. Especially some raids are just super, super simple, like the Feywild raid. I don't think it would matter there. But, it's just it's up in the air. So I'm not quite sure. Okay, I have to go and talk to that dragon. Yeah, I see. The turn in Madstone. Or whatever that one was there that we just did. Yeah, this dude here. Did I get a double slotted ring? Nope. I would assume if you made this iconic into a warlock where your aura is ticking constantly on things, that the effects would be even more pronounced, because I'm just doing like single casts, but the aura would just be ticking anytime it hit anything. So it may be even more exaggerated. Okay, I might as well buff up since we're waiting for him. And I'll give her fire resist since there's a lot of fire. And I'll take fire resist. Okay. Alright, here we go. Arcane Storm. Just let that eat everything up. Alright, let's do the globe spell on him. Yeah, see, I just got the iron thing on my head. That, you know, the blindness doesn't last for that long, so it's not like I was in any danger, but it really is. Like, if you were doing any sort of gameplay where you were counting something that was occurring on the screen. Okay, I'm gonna Arcane Storm right here. There, that should get those guys. I'm gonna leave that one who got turned to stone. Oh, she got killed. I don't know how she got killed because I color sprayed them standing in front of her. Maybe she had a dot on her. Or maybe that fire giant hit her with a like a fire ray or something. The other thing too, I can see, like, there are some, like, instances in this game, certain raids, where you may get a curse effect on you in the raid, and then you need to know that that's obviously, like, what's going on. This just adds, basically, another curse. So, I mean, obviously, you should be cleansing yourself of any debuffs immediately anyway, but it just would add to the overhead of somebody who... You know, if they were cleansing themselves or cleansing other people, they're usually not a role in DDO, but that they would have to, you know, consider that you're getting surges of debuffs. Wonder if this... Oh, she can do it. Yeah. So this little circle of light reminds me of Diablo 4, when you like interact with the shrine, it gives you a buff. It looks exactly the same. In Diablo 4, though, the buffs are usually different. But... So, and I might as well shrine here. Yeah, so my hope is that they do a couple things to change what's going on. One is to let us know exactly what the surges are in some sort of a way, whether it's adding an indicator to this tray to give us a better, you know, or the combat log, just so we know what these things mean, or to give us like some sort of an indicator when we mouse over ourselves that we can see the actual, you know, what that is. Because right now I have no way to tell. And then the other thing would be to, I think they should reduce the frequency of all of them, I think, positive and negative. It just seems like I'm constantly getting, like I said, dragon pox or cursed or stupefied by the fatigue, or it's just on pen and paper, it's different than live service, where live you're dealing with it all the time. In pen and paper, it's a lot less, you know, like you do one fight, it might happen. You might get one bad thing that happens to you, whereas I'm running around getting bad things all the time. So, and obviously this could be a personal thing. Some people might not mind it, but... usually when you're dealing with negatives, there's a reason that you would endure that, because the positive outweighs the negative so much more. But what I'm seeing, it's not like I'm obliterating everything with insta-kills. There's a lot of magic that I'm casting that's just flat out not working. So I can't really say, hey, wow, this is great. Like, that spell there, that wasn't an insta-kill. Like, that, you know, it did a lot of damage and put him to sleep. But now I've got Dragonpox again. So, and if you didn't have UMD, how would you get that off of yourself? You'd have to run around with a cleric, right? Cleric would have to be curing you. We'll see if we can one-shot that dude. All right, we did one-shot that dude. I just got the mana leak. Now, keep in mind, I made my character to have, like, bad stuff occur less. So, I don't understand, like, I guess there's no way to make it so that, there's the iron pot. I'm blind, so I can't see. I think it's only like a 5-second effect, but... that one-shotted him. That was good. Yeah, that's what it did all the time. Like, if it was consistently, like, just one-shotting everything, then I would say, all right, you know what? It doesn't really matter that the stuff is super bad happening to you, because the good stuff is just so good. Like, you can put up with being blind for 5 seconds. But... you don't need to be a wild magic caster to cast Prismatic Spray. Prismatic Spray has always been a really good spell. Color Spray also. Like, I use Color Spray on every character. That's good. That's what we want to see. Like that. Yep, and I got Dragonpox again, or whatever. Magical pox. I just fixed myself. And I can see the negatives, right? So you follow the logic. Like, I see the negatives because I have to deal with them, but I have no idea what the positives are. So while I'm getting informed by these negatives because I can't see, there's a pot on my head, or the screen is green because I've got the disease, or I've got feeble-minded or exhausted, I can't see the good stuff. So I don't know when I have like a 5 times damage boost, or got a pumpkin on my head. Luckily, the pumpkin doesn't impair my vision at all. It's just like a visual. And I'm still not a fan. I don't really care. Now it gave me a 20% reduction in spell costs. What they should do is take these charges and make it into something like this wild action boost, and then just give us this phase step as an ability, kind of like Flight of Kings, where it just activates every 15 seconds. It shouldn't be tied to a charge system. If they want to give us a buff for summer, winter, fall, and spring, just give us a separate buff. Just take it, separate it. They need to separate it from the phase step and just give us a step, in my opinion. Otherwise, it's not useful. In other words, I want to use my quick movement to get out of, like, to move out of stuff that's telegraphed on the floor. to get away from a monster's far reach. Like, these skeleton defenders have really long reach with their giant mace. So, I mean, I could use my quick movement like I just did to get out of the way. And I'm really not paying attention to the 20% spell cost reduction that it granted me for being in summer. It's nice. It's nice to have that, but I'm probably going to try to line up that. So now I've got the pot on my head. I can't see. I'm probably going to try to line up that 20% like in a raid where I'm like nuking a boss, right? So that means that I have to save my face steps for like boss fights, and that's not a good design. That's bad. I could just have a hot take on this whole, you know, system, but it's not something that I think is like super player friendly. It's very off-putting to be in the middle of a fight and all of a sudden you can't see and you're wearing blindness immunity. And as a sorcerer, like, couldn't I whip up some magic that would make it so that I could see through metal? Like, isn't that something feasible? I don't know. I would think that magically imbued blindness immunity object would do something very similar to that. But I'm probably overthinking it. Okay, here we're just gonna take the dragon relics. And then here, what's my... Okay, still have a Sovereign 2. So we are going to skip. And then we'll take our reward. And then we'll take the XP. There we go.
Where are you going? Hunting for gold that is flowing. Somewhere in the cold world, here there is no knowing. Hey la, oh la la la. We love if there's a standing stone. Let's make camp. We love games. Let's make camp and play more games. Hey la, oh la la. We love games. There's a standing stone. Let's make camp. We love games. Let's make camp and play more games. Hey la, oh la la. We love games. Where are you going? There's no knowing what magic awaits, what evil is growing. Hey la, oh la la. We love games. There's a standing stone. Let's make camp. We love games. Oh la la. Hunting no crypts is folly. Just play games and be jolly. Magical treasures hide in the dark, so rest in it and embark. We love games. There's a standing stone. Let's make camp. We love games. Let's make camp and play more games. There's a standing stone. Let's make camp. We love games. Let's make camp and play more games. Hey la, oh la la. We love games. Hey la, Mary la. Oh la 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 la. Oh la la. La 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 la. La 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 la. Hey la. Oh la.